A few weeks ago I found one of my dream cars abandoned outside an industrial unit. It had been there for 30 years and things weren't looking good, but it used to look like this. I knew I had to have it and try and bring it back to its former glory, but that would be easier said than done. The years of being abandoned had really taken its toll. The engine was seized solid, but we managed to get it running. And then we got it driving. Then we 3D scanned the whole car in hopes to recreate some of the missing body panels. But then the bad news came. The engine had to come out because we lost almost all compression. And then found internal damage to the bores. While I was figuring out those problems, I started sanding down the car. 40 years of paint. It was crazy. But in doing that, I also found more rust. And a lot of it. I don't have any fancy equipment, so I decided I'd get the car up on its side so I could give the underside a proper inspection. And it wasn't good. It was clear at this point the body had to come off, which is a big job. But if this car is ever going to be safe, it's something we have to do. Though we all know what we're going to find underneath that body is likely worse than any of the rust we've seen so far. So this should be interesting. Okay, so the day is finally upon us. We need to take the body off the chassis. That's the only way we can truly know the extent of the rust and repair it properly. But taking the body off the chassis is easier said than done. There are many very rusty seized-on bolts. But I've got a special tool for that. The angle grinder made pretty quick work of those seized coach bolts, but that was only the start. Remember, this thing was built in the 1970s, when expanding foam and screwed up pieces of newspaper were pretty commonplace in holding a car together. And with almost all of the coach bolts out, the body and the chassis were still firmly one piece. So, what wonders were holding this thing together?